Hello, my friends. This is Andy Falco Jimenez coming to you live from Orange County, California, specifically Yorba Linda, for the Vote, PYL Vote show, where I want to bring some things to your attention very quickly before I head out again. It seems that lately I'm pretty much an Uber for my children. Some of the kids are going to Not Scary Farm tonight. So I wanted to come on before I had to do that to just send out a plea to all of you parents who are for good, sound education for your children, and you care about your children's overall mental and physical health. That there are only two candidates that are even necessary to consider on November 8th, and that is Todd Frazier and Rich Engel, and no other candidate in the PYL area. What I've been researching lately, I've really became seriously focused on the teachers' unions that encompass our nation, our state, and locally. I've been contacted by candidates in Orange, in Ventura, Simi Valley, Chino Valley, Temecula, who catch wind of this show, and also seen some of the videos I put out that I'm revealing the connection between all of these unions. They're all connected, whether it's the NEA, National Educator Association, or the CTA, which is the California Teachers Association, or in our district, APLE, the Association of Placentia Yorba Linda Educators, which is a direct partner, as it says on the NEA's website, a direct partner to and let me get the title right, it's very long, but it is the National Educator Association's Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, Queer Caucus, that they are all in complete partnership, not only in the indoctrination in this just nonsense and lunacy of being more focused on trying to convince children that they are not the correct sex and that they possibly need to alter themselves both in medication or even in surgery without parents' consent. That is seemingly more important to focus on, and even in the area of abortion. And even in the area of who is an oppressor and who is oppressed. So those things seemingly are critically important to a number of teachers. Not sure how many it is, but I know that it can't be more than 25%. But if it is, then we have a very serious problem. We know that a portion, at least 3 of the 5 board members that we currently have apparently think it's more important to do those things than it is to actually educate, where we have Leander Blades and Sean Youngblood, who are all about education and protecting children, that as I dig deeper and deeper, I really find that it is a far more serious issue than I think even many of you parents who simply sometimes think, well, just let them talk about, the gays and lesbians and the transgenders. And, we don't really want to bother them. I don't want to come off as homophobic or racist or Marxist or communist, which they're calling, which is all reverse. They seemingly have it backwards, but they're believing what they are told. And so, I think that we have unfortunately, a large number of parents who just seemingly just have fallen into this idea that they can't speak out, that they have to somehow vote for these people. And they have children. They have children in elementary school. They have children in junior high and high school who, for whatever reason, they've decided it is far more important not to say anything or to hide their hand in the sand than it is to protect their own children from the idea that they need to, if they're a boy, surgically remove their penises and testicles, or if they have girls, that it's seemingly more important to allow them to cut off their breasts. And they don't want teachers, school administrators, district superintendents to even tell you about it. The only thing that's keeping a lid on the Placentia Yorba Linda Unified School District from going even farther is a large number of parents who do not think that that's more important than education, that do not think that that's more important than actually caring for our children's mental health and physical health. This is the only thing that's keeping a lid on, because the APLE, the teachers union for our district, is hand in hand with the NEA and the CTA. And I did not necessarily want to go to this area, but I just have to simply tell you why it's so important for me to tell you what I'm going to tell you, and that is that we need your involvement. Just really quickly to share my screen with this specific area, and so you don't think I'm making this stuff up, that this is, oh, wow. How did that happen? Hold on. There we go. So here is, and if you'll see at the upper left-hand corner there, it says the NEA, Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, Queer Caucus. And then as we scroll down, you see right there, it says NEA, Member Benefits, CTA. And then no longer there's a section that was down here that's no longer there, where it talks about being in partnership. I think if I try to even find it now, it won't take me to where it used to. Foundation members. Let's see if it's in there. It is possible. Now these are the individuals that are foundational members. But Apple is in that link that is right now is not available. They've somehow decided that it's appropriate to hide it from you. That doesn't mean that they're not. It doesn't mean that I will in the next show I will make sure that you see that page. Where Apple is directly tied to this idea. What else can you find on this particular page? Well, you can find that teachers are being taught to organize like sex workers. On this page, on this very page, teachers are being taught to act as sex workers, in the sense that they want them to learn how to indoctrinate your children without you finding out, without even law enforcement finding out. That this page, actually, let me just bring it up again so you don't think I'm making it up. I'm going to bring up the page, and then I'm going to leave it at that, because I can go on to this forever. But here is this page that it's Scarlettine, and you see right there where it says organize like a sex worker. And then about 2 paragraphs down, it says sex workers have long existed in legal gray areas, figuring out how to make a living, stay safe, and avoid liability wherever possible. They also face stigma, judgment, and pushback from both the Christian right and sex work exclusionary feminists, also known as SWERFs. So as I bring this to your attention, and you're sitting here wondering at almost 8 o'clock at night on a Saturday night why I'm on and why this is important. I was at the El Dorado Yorba Linda High School football game, and as I walked into the stadium, I was stopped several times by people either saying, "Thank you for the information. I didn't have any idea." And so I do know that there's a number of parents that, again, and either purposefully or just because they're so busy, they just don't know, or they purposely have their head stuck in the sand, that they have become so afraid. Fear is a very powerful emotion that the left has proven to be very effective in being able to push their agenda and to indoctrinate our kids. But that there are a number of parents who, for whatever reason, they're slowly beginning to wake up, because if you're just now finding out that teachers unions are evil and that they have indoctrinated and encouraged teachers to follow what it is that they are pushing, and that is to teach children about this nonsense, that is far more important to really push the idea of these sexual, pornographic, and physically harmful ideology that that parents are seemingly not understanding that there are teachers that are doing this regardless of the curriculum. Now, we have some good curriculum here at the PYL USD, but that doesn't mean that the teachers that have bought in, or the librarians that we understand, and even some of the coaches have not bought into. We can just ignore that the curriculum says that we're supposed to teach this, and instead we're going to add these things, and we're going to give your children pornographic material. One thing you need to know, I'm focusing on how it is I'm going to be able to press charges against some of these teachers, librarians, and coaches. And if I have to, some school board members and district superintendents, that there are laws against this. I was a sex crime detective for Anaheim Police Department, and I see the laws that I'm going to put into place. I do believe I have a case on a few people in our district for distributing pornographic material to children under the age of 18. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that these people are at least investigated, and if not prosecuted for their crimes. But as I went back to I'm sorry, I went on a whole tangent there. But as I talked into the stadium, after being stopped by a few people that said, thank you for this information, we didn't have any idea. I'm now going to change my vote in what I was thinking, and that is fantastic. But I did come across a couple people that are still simply confused about what's happening with Todd Frazier and Steve Slauson. And I got to tell you that this is just really extremely upsetting for me, and I know it is for a number of parents. That there were some friendships that were involved in the beginning of all of this. The beginning stages of learning what has been going on in our district, and what was needed to have a candidate selected by a majority of the parents that are obviously concerned, that show up every month to the school board meetings, that we located someone that we felt was a strong candidate, and we found one in the name of Todd Frazier, and of course in the name of Richard Engel for Area 5. Now, Todd Frazier's Area 4, Karen Freeman, who has been on the board since the 1900s, and has been on far too long, and has completely bought in to the fact that our children need to be maimed and harmed and uneducated for the name of transgenderism and sexual identity confusion, that she's all in and really for confusing children, and has been doing so for a very long time, for decades probably, under our noses. But what's happening with this issue with Steve Slauson is that it's going to make it more difficult. I think Todd Frazier still is one of the most powerful candidates in the state of California for any school board position. But we are lucky enough to have him running for the Placentia Yorba Linda Unified School District. And as I walked into Bradford Stadium for this game of El Dorado versus Yorba Linda High School, I see all these children, all these amazing children, all these athletes that simply want to just live their lives without being fed nonsense, and parents that are there supporting them, all these parents in the stands. And I'm being contacted as I'm trying to find as I'm finding my way to my seat. I'm being, hey, Andy, thanks for doing what you're doing. Hey, Andy, I got a question. Hey, Andy, is it Todd Frazier that we're supposed to be voting for? Or is it Steve Slauson? And as I get contacted by one other person, they said, my neighbor has been told that Todd Frazier is new to Yorba Linda. They were also told that Todd Frazier is not really a conservative, and that he's a Democrat. Going such a low blow after all, and that this friend of the person that was talking to me is telling all of her friends and family to vote for Steve Slauson. Now, again, I can only say this so many times, and that is I don't know Steve Slauson, and it doesn't matter, because I know that I gained information because I do know his wife. I do know people that know Steve Slauson. I do know people that were present at the Orange County GOP in the first time, and are fully aware what agreements were made and the decisions that were made by the number of people that were involved as to why Todd Frazier is the better candidate, and as to why Steve Slauson was passed over And it doesn't mean that he could never run for school board, but it was just not at this time because we needed the very best candidate. And what the agreement was is that Steve Slauson would back out once Todd Frazier would have backed out if Steve Slauson would have got the support and the backing of these organizations. Well, when Todd Frazier got the backing of these organizations, Steve Slauson refused to back out. And now one thing I do know is that is a poor sign of someone's character. When they've made a promise to do something, and now only proof I need is that he's still running. And I know that Todd Frazier did get the support and the endorsement of the Orange County GOP. Todd Frazier also got the support and endorsement of a large number of other organizations, very key organizations in our community and our surrounding community. And yet Steve Slauson still refuses to back out. Character. The character we need in the school board right now is one that stays true to his promises. We already have Marilyn Anderson, who promised a whole bunch of things and got onto the school board and didn't follow through with only but one promise, and that was to vote out CRT. So I do applaud her for that, but every other area that she promised that she would support the parents who care about education and care about health of our kids mentally and physically, she did not. And so we already see that bad character leads us down a road where it makes it far more difficult to bring back our schools within our school district back to a place of education. That Marilyn Anderson is what you get when somebody is voted in who has bad character. That is the example we see in many of the issues that many of the parents do not like and do not want. She votes against parents. Why? Because she has bad character. Because before she got elected, she was all for surrounding herself with many people that wanted, not only CRT banned, but iReady banned and a whole number of other things banned. That we didn't want people coming in that were supportive of the BLM organizations, destruction of the nuclear family, and the idea that all cops are racist and bad and should be defunded. And she hung around us knowing that that was our position and said, yes, I agree with you. And then when she gets in there, what does she do? She votes for people that want to bring Black Lives Matter organization ideologies to our schools. And that, again, we made a mistake. I will admit that we made a mistake, that we somehow missed the poor character of Marilyn Anderson. We are not unaware of Steve Slauson's bad character. He has shown us who he is by his actions and his lack of integrity by not bowing out when the agreement was that he would if Todd Frazier did receive the endorsement of these organizations. And here he is still. He is walking around door to door based on a number of people that came to me during the game yesterday. And of course, at Stater Brothers and the other areas that I go just as a community member, where people said, you know what, this Steve Slauson guy came to my house and he said that Todd is not really somebody who's been here very long. Todd is as a Democrat. Now, Todd, wants XYZ, whatever lies that were told to the people. They were telling me, and none of those are true. Todd Frazier has been a long time a resident of Yorba Linda. He is against CRT. He is a conservative. He is going to come in and he is going to make sure that the children's health is first and foremost. Their education is first and foremost of teaching kids how to read, write, count, and think. And against anything in regard to indoctrination, against anything that is not pro-parent rights. And we know Todd's character because we also know Todd's parents have great character. I know that doesn't always go hand in hand, but in this case that it does. So what I need from you, those of you that are watching, and I hope that those of you that are watching will share this out into your group of friends on whatever social media you're watching this on, because we're broadcasting live on a number of them, is that you will share this on your page and that you will share this with people that are in Area 4 in particular, so that they know that what you're hearing from Steve Slauson is a lie. And then you'll learn that Steve Slosson's character is poor and bad and not to be accepted as a school board member for our district. And it hurts me to say that because I so badly just wanted to say, you know what? I don't know Steve, but I know that Todd Frazier is the better candidate. But I can't go on saying just that we selected Todd over Steve because of a number of really good reasons. But now there's no doubt that Steve Slosson's character is bad, that he's going around lying about Todd Frazier, that he didn't hold up to his promise to bail out when Todd Frazier got the endorsements. And so I can tell you with all honesty, without hesitation, even in the sense that I truly love and like his wife, Steve Slosson's wife, very much, that I just cannot stay silent anymore. That based on me walking in the stadium and the number of the people that were so confused by these lies and nonsense they're being told, it's far more important to get somebody elected. And I've told people this before we even selected Todd. I said the one thing that's most important is our kids, and we have to set aside our feelings and even maybe some friendships to make sure that what we're doing is good for the kids. The kids are more important than that. That who it is that we vote for and the reasons why we select them and vote for them, the truth is out there, is that if it's going to cost me in friendship, then so be it. I have 5 kids in the district, and and my children have boyfriends and girlfriends that are in the district that I care about, and they have friends that come to our house that I care about, and that is more important than staying silent about this situation or not telling everything that I know. Everything that I know is that Todd Frazier has character. Todd Frazier is the right person for our school district, and being a school board member, trustee, and Steve Slosson is not. His character is poor, and he does not deserve to even be looked at as a viable candidate. And so, one last thing is that Todd Frazier needs your help. If you can put it any time, if it's at your lunchtime, from your job, if it's after work, if you need to take a couple days off to help and walk and knock on doors and hand out flyers and share with people in Area 4 about Todd Frazier and why he needs to be elected, then I'm asking you to do that. If you even live in another area and you can support Todd Frazier in Area 4, then I need you to do that. If you can share this video and other information on your social media, we need you to do that. It's that important that Todd Frazier get elected. We need Rich Engel also get elected. So make sure if you can and find the time to help him to do that, then make sure and do that too. You can go to their websites very easily. In the description of this video, you will see a link to both of the candidates' website and the city council, Ryan Bent, who is running. Make sure and be aware of who he is and that he needs to be elected to our Yorba Linda's city council. Did I say Chamber of Commerce? I might have. City council. But I just wanted to come on and let you know that this is important. This is extremely important. And they need your help and need your financial support as we're less than 2 months away until the election. All right, my friends, please help and support these candidates. And I hope this helped in your decision making. All right, my friends, we'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.